Hello, blessed and beloved jewelry community. Welcome to this video. My name is ROHRBACH. So, a couple of days ago, I made two live sessions about this scarab. It was designed with 3Design software. 3Design is a software. It's the name of a software. Which is one of the best softwares for jewelry design. And then I exported it to Blender, and I made the render with Luxcore. So the finished first version as a poster is this one. So everything was made, the entire scene was made using Blender 292, obviously except the scarab. I will be making a small animation because the wings of this scarab can open, and on the inside we also have enamel designs. So well, the scene, I love creating this scene. The only post effect is a bit of cleanup here and there, and the sparks receive a bit of star shine. But that's it. So it worked very well. This is a first version, which means that the chain and the scarab are flying. They're not touching ground. And the view is a front view, so it doesn't give that much depth. But I really love the colors that I started getting on the wings and the gemstones, so I kept this camera angle, and I will be doing at least one more version with a bit maybe with a depth of field here and there also, and I will be setting the chain and the jewel on the ground to give it a bit more but this is the how can I call this one? Well, in this poster, it's the jewel that really had to stand out. Okay, so if you haven't followed the live session that I made a couple of days ago, just go to the channel. Here is the first session. In this one, I come on. In this one, I start creating the scene from the gray from ground. And I talk about a bit about other works I've done, and here I'm importing the jewel and starting with the scene with the ground, which I call the floor the entire video, but it's the ground. Okay, so this is the first one, and second one we go further, and I start with the materials. So the render was done with Luxcore. And in the first version, I end up with the rocks are ready, the ground is ready, and the materials, the gemstones, the general materials of the jewels are ready. So if you want to go check and see the nodes for Luxcore rendering, go have a look at these two videos on my channel. And here, well, this is just a quick video to show the first real result of the render. And the nice thing is that I can turn on the live preview so we can have a look at the scene. So everything is in the 3D scene, and there's not more composition afterwards. But I will be making, like I already said, I will be making a new version where I will very probably put less stardust around the scarab, and I will be using depth of field on the stardust to give more depth to the rendering. But I really loved the entire scene. There's some little dried branch, we have some bubbles on the water, there's some water, there's some moss here and there. The moss has some little pistils. I made the flowers. I really enjoyed working on these flowers. It worked really the way I wanted. And what I did also is that the gemstones, every gemstone has its own color, and the texture is different for every gemstone, slightly different obviously, because these are garnets, this is an amethyst, this is a pearl. I like the pearl. It could be a bit softer maybe, but I made another version and it was too rough. That one is looks pretty decent for a pearl. I really love the enamel on the wings, so that's why I kept working. And obviously the gold has much roughness effects and bumps effects to give it a really also like an antique, because this is, let's call that the Sacred Egyptian Scarab. And well, I wanted to look a bit more antique and not so clean. And it's funny because, like I already said in other videos, a couple of weeks ago I made another render. Where is the other render? I never find it. It might be here, it might be here. Are you here? Yeah, I think it's this one. Okay, this one. So I already said it in other videos, but I made this one, and this setup is very simple. It's just a white floor, and in this setup I wanted just the plain design of the ring standing out, because the design is already intricate enough. And I wanted really the caustics to really show, the sparkles to show from the real caustics of the metal. So that's why I also used Luxcore, because Luxcore is the best renderer actually available for many things. Maybe not just for animations, but that's changing, and that's it depends. But anyway, for a very simple scene. So obviously I got criticized because people saying, yeah, this is too simple. Okay, so we're here. Let me just remove, I'm going to remove the light tracing on the preview. And we're gonna have a look at, so here we can see that the scene is obviously all 3D, even if at the end I even put a little nameplate here with the carats of the gold, because I couldn't really put the brand on the jewel. And yeah, I really enjoy creating this scene because it has a lot of details. It's naturalistic setup, scene, surroundings, environment, and yeah, obviously we should, you should, we all should, but most of all I should. Let's try another. So we can see the rocks, the water. I really loved the reflections on the water. So the water, let's go to the water material. Where are you? So obviously the scene, well, and even the scene is not, let's go and turn on the statistics. Let's have a look at the statistics. In the end, the statistics, we can have a look there on, so even if there's my my image there, hello again, that's me, but right there where my hand is, here, right there, we can see that at the end we have 12 millions faces. So I optimized the scene quite well, because I reached, at some point I reached 24, I think, but even that's not too much. Okay, what we're going to do is that I'm going to have a look at another camera angle, and the final render, that first version. Okay, so let's have a look also at this. This is a bit of the progress. So the first one here on the top left, that's when I yeah, this one there, that was the first result of the second day, the second session, the second live session, which was actually on the same day. So that was day one. Day one I had this, and then I just worked another day, the day after, or a couple of days after, and I get from this to the final render, which is, this one is very close. So you can see at first I had some plans, but I don't like them. Then I started working on all the texture and making the light stand out more. But from day one, we can see that I had the gemstones material in general really close to the last version. Then I just started working on all the objects in the scene, the rocks, the plants, the moss, the water, the bubbles. Maybe I'm going to try them, because I was changing also the HDR of the scene. I like that one quite well. There's a bit more light there. And that's almost the finished result right there. And well, this one is with Luxcore. It took well, 2,000 samples. Took a couple of hours to render, 2 or 3, a couple of hours. And it's a 4K. It's a 4K render. Actually, if we zoom in, we can see that. And I really loved all the details that Luxcore was bringing. The only thing I don't like is, in fact, well, I do have some caustics. Those lights are from the render. Just these sparks are a bit, these 1, 2, 3, 4 sparks are just enhanced with Corel Painter after, but that's all. Some little bushes right here and there. The only thing I had to correct were just like some pink lines on the left here, and weird artifacts here and there, but that's all. So and you can see that from the scene that this environment is really completely 3D. The only thing, and that's not my favorite trick, actually, I think I will be changing that, the famous PNG mask, alpha mask for the bushes. But that's not the best way to make plants. That's why I wanted, the moss is really sculpted, the flower also is really 3D, and you can see that that makes a way better render these small pistils from the moss also, they're all real. They're not PNG. I mean real, like there are no PNG mask effect. The only PNG mask effect is on these small dry. No, that's the background. Sorry. These small bushes, dry bushes. But well, it works. It's faster because you don't have to model much, but obviously it doesn't make so nice shadows and reflections afterwards. So whenever you can, I don't remember using that. And okay, and the water, I was searching for the water. The water has obviously, where's the water? Okay, let's go here. Water, here you are, water. Let's go again. Plane 3, collection 3. Here we are. Here with the bubbles, obviously. So all the bubbles maybe are just a bit too crystal clear. Maybe I will add later on. I will add. Okay, that's the water. So the water has a gradient effect and the roughness effect. That's the roughness map. So even if it's divided by 2, we have like 4 UVs. It works because the general scene doesn't let those lines show up that much in the render. Obviously you can see, that's why also I'm going to change. In the end we can see them here on the left and on the right. Not that much up there, but I will still work a bit on some details, even if I already published the render. This is the gray view that many of you have seen. This is the original design made in 3 Design. That's just a screen view, and well, that's the first render. So even if I already published this as a finished work, I will be making other versions. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it actually right now, start right now. At least I'm going to make another angle. I think this one, let's have a look. Let's create, add. Okay, let's move to the set collection here. Close everybody here. Here we are. Okay, let's add a camera. Let's go to here. Let's go to camera 1. We're going to call it other angle. What a name for a camera, right? Other angle. There you go. Now I'll control 0, and here we are. Okay, let's have a look at what I can get there. Okay, obviously the sparkles. So these guys, we're going to hide these. Are they here? No, they're not. These are the bubbles. I don't even know where. Okay, collection 6. Here. Okay, halos. Nope. Okay, we're going to hide these from render and from the scene, right? Okay, now the camera. Obviously the camera, we can do. Let's try a very small focal, and let's move the camera closer. Okay, something like that. So if I can get something like that. So this obviously distorts the perspective when you put a very small focal length. Okay, we have that. Thing is, can I get everybody? Because I do want. Okay, let's try a bit smaller. This one almost works. Okay, now let's move out a bit so we can see. Let's have a look. And also, what's if you can see the side view, the set is tending vertical, and that makes things a bit different. Generally, you should model, if something is the ground, you should obviously not model it standing up. But in this scene, I got lucky and it worked better like this. Okay, here I like to see a bit. Okay, here let's move a bit further out. Here I like to see a bit of the flower, so this means that I'd like maybe a bit more here, so we can go more to the left. I could make the ground bigger. I could. We're almost there. This should work. This should work pretty well. And also, what I'm going to change on this new the other angle, I'm going to bring another source light to make caustics shine and spark more, way more here and there. So let's have a look. So obviously this video is just because it's to end the live sessions I made a couple of days back and show the results to everybody, because I think that I think it's worth it, and I've explained all the creation of the scene. Then I just kept working exactly the same way. No, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Really nice. It's really nice. So I'm just going to correct a couple of things. Yeah, okay, I'm going to take the camera. I'm going to rotate it just a bit more here. And let's bring, what do we have? Where's the focal now? Focal length. Here? Nope. Where did it go? Ah, here. Okay, that's great. Let's go a bit here. Okay, now the water, exactly. I'm going to just correct the water. So water was collection 3. As you can see, I didn't, well, some things do have the names. So the shading of the water, shading of the water, shading of the water has that, but let's go with 1. Okay, then okay, the light source for caustics. So let's bring an area light let's bring it here. Let's go here. Now size, let's make it 3. Let's put laser type. Power strategy, let's start with a crazy high power. This is obviously too high. Now I'm going to ask for light tracing on the preview, and let's have a look at what happens with that light. And well, I hope you really enjoyed this scene. And just we're going to let it load a bit, and that it will inspire you all to create, to be more creative. Okay, so that's what we get. That's what we get for now. Let's have a look at this here. This is pretty nice. But wait, if I rotate the light like this and bring it from, okay, something there. I maybe each side. What are we getting here? Okay. Let's have a look here. Obviously light's too strong. Okay, it's hitting. Okay, it's hitting right right in the middle. That's not so nice. Maybe obviously I want the caustics to go on the floor to make, okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's try the light a bit smaller. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see from the camera angle if we, yeah. Okay, so obviously now let's bring this down. And not too low. Or what I could do is bring it from the left side so that the lights go to the back. Let's have a look at this idea. Okay, just let's bring this back to a very high value. Okay, now we're not touching the scarab. Okay, here we are touching the scarab. Oh, or bring, okay, shape. I'm going to change the shape to some rectangle. Where's the shape? Size, yes. Where is shape? It should be right here. No, no, no. But wait a second. Too bad, too bad. Or maybe, I just want to try something, maybe no laser, but just a light from the back with an image. Because obviously we're lacking some light here and there. To make Let's see from this angle what we get. Okay, so first also I need to go a bit further away. Here. And then what else? Okay, we have this. Obviously it's too strong. That's pretty good. What I could I need to move the camera a bit to the right. Camera. Okay, here. Okay, maybe not so far. Or let me see rather on the other side. What I could also have a look at is that the depth of field is turned on, is already set up. There's a dove point I created. And let's try something small here. Something very small. Must be very smaller. Actually, it is pretty small. It's very small for an f-stop. But that's interesting. What I can change also, well, I need to change the small detail on the amethyst. The shadow color, it's a very nice, but it's too saturated here, and it's too bright. I want it a bit darker. Okay. That was a problem at the beginning, small detail. And the light is not good enough yet. Obviously it takes a little while to load all the objects, but it's still quite fast. That's why I enjoyed creating this scene, because it did not get too heavy. But even so, there are enough details to make it look outstanding. Okay, what we can do also is that on the area light, if I find, okay, I'm going to move it to the other collection there. Okay, I can bring an image. Can I? Generally you can. Sometimes you can. No, that's a yes. That I don't use for my renders generally. Okay, we can go to the, let's see what shaders I can bring to. Okay, color, texture, image texture. You can bring, we can also bring an image texture to the light, but let's see how it behaves in Luxcore. I do that quite often in cycles. I'd like something a bit warmer, which means that I'm going to bring a sunset. Let's go have a look at if it's really making any effect on the light, because I don't know how the image get mapped. Generally it's an environment map, so it's spherical that goes through the light, but not all the time. So I don't know in Luxcore, because I haven't. Yeah, well, it does. Okay, it's working. It's working. What I could change is now I can change the strength again, the efficacy. Okay, that's pretty neat because the light is a bit warmer. The light is a bit warmer here and there. What I'm going to change, the scene is almost fitting. So I can make the jewel smaller or the scene bigger, which is easier to select. But I think I'm going to take the entire scene. No, too bad. Give me a second. I have so many collections with no names. So now you can see why. But that's pretty easy. Okay, that's the floor. Let's bring the floor to another collection here. I have the rocks here. Pro. Okay. Oh, and there's a rock just behind the jewel. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm going to make all this smaller. Just a little. Wait a second. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, here, and there's a rock there that's still useless where it is. So I'm going to edit mode. Okay, Alt A, C, L. I need that. Thank you. Okay, I need this right there. There's like an empty spot. Yeah, here. Here and there. I think it's okay. So I'm going to move it right here and make it a bit smaller. Here we are, and let's make it smaller. Smaller, I said. So it's a bit slow, but not that slow. So I know many people are complaining about the edit mode efficiency in Blender, and it is an issue, but it also depends a lot on how you optimize your scenes and the way you work. And most of the time it's more about how you use the software instead of bugs or flaws of the software. Every software has issues, expensive ones, free ones. Every tool has pros and cons. So just choose wisely your software depending on what you need to achieve and your budget, obviously. Okay, this is a bit better. So, so I added a light source, an area light on the down left side with an image to have a bit more, to have a warmer light and a better shadow to give more depth to the scene. And I think I'm going to add another area light as laser type, because yes, it would be nice to have a couple of sparks on the right downside. Yes, we're going to try that. So looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, but let's go to solid view and area lights. Let's copy this one. I'm going to bring it here again. So it could be, I could move it under the jewel, maybe. I could move it under the jewel or much on the side, Let's try again. I was already getting, okay, that could be pretty good. Okay, and this one's going to be laser. Let's go back to that menu here, laser. Okay, the strength. Well, let's have a look. Let's go here, let's move this. And let's go to preview again now. Let's see if I can get, but the funny thing is that it kept obviously the same image node that the other area light has. So let's see how it behaves being a laser and having that image, that image node. It could be interesting. I don't even know if it affects. Okay, we have that. It's pretty good. The only thing that's affecting what I want is that I would like a rectangular laser, because that would make also caustics on the right top corner. If we have a look here, that area doesn't get any caustic, and that's a bit sad. Obviously I could, because that part is pretty cool. Okay, we're going to lower a bit this. Let's go at half that. I really love where the caustics are hitting right now. The laser is just making a very nice spark there. And they go right there on the floor, a bit on the water. It's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, it's really nice. But I need another one. Let's bring this one a bit, and let's go. You know what? Wait, I'm going to keep the exact same. Let's hit right there. Or maybe on the gemstone. It's right there. Okay, and so let's go here. Let's have a preview, and I think we're ready for today. So this was to close the topic on that Scarab design with 3Design and imported to Blender to be rendered with Luxcore. So go check the live sessions where I explain where you can see all the development of the sets. It worked. I think it worked very well. Okay, that's what I wanted. I want some sparkles on the top. Yeah. Okay, so this will be another angle. This one has caustics and depth of field, and totally different angle. So this is perfectly scheduled because now for me it's time to eat. So obviously while I cook and calmly eat, the computer will be rendering this new angle, and I will publish that in the afternoon, so you guys can enjoy and comment all the work that I'm doing. I'm really happy, so keep subscribing and keep becoming members. Now in January, the members, I'm going to change the the levels of the fees. So people who, I don't know what's going to happen with people that already are members, but obviously it's not, I won't make that to lose members. What I'm going to change is that instead of getting discounts at the first level, you're directly going to get 3D models, 3D scenes, some that I do in the videos and some that I do especially for the members. And so you're gonna get scenes. Some of the scenes do have the materials, but that's not at the entry level, I think. But anyway, I'm going to make it very attractive to be a member of my channel. And I will also start working on things outside of the jewelry field. I want to make a spacecraft. I want to make a something with the opera, with an opera house. And yeah, I know there's a lot of distance between a spaceship, and an opera house, but that's why I really always enjoyed about my creative freedom. Even if I've been making a lot of jewelry all these years, in fact, since I was a child, I used to design anything ranging from cars to space ships, but also planetary views, everything that came to my mind. But in fact, there is a creative line, a creative style guiding my choices. The scene we're looking at now of that Sacred Scarab, I'm still going to make new versions, because these versions, well, they have the jewel in the air. It's very stiff, and that's not so realistic. But like I already said, these views present the jewel for itself, because the design of the jewel is already also interesting enough complex enough. And well, it has also a bit of fantasy. The scene has a bit of fantasy. That's why I added a lot of sparks around the jewel in this version. On the new angle, I won't be doing that way. I will be putting more like dust effects here and there. But I think that not everything must be so realistic or obey to the laws of physics. And that's why sometimes I do take these kinds of liberties. But anyway, I'm going to make also a version with the chain set on the floor, with the gemstones set on the ground. I said floor again. But for now, that's enough. And I'm really starving, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon. So take care, blessed and beloved community, and see you soon. Bye.